All right. So, what I would like to talk to you about today is what effects does social media have on us? And the reason for doing so is that I think that social media has this huge presence in today's society, and it goes to show that you should only check out what effects it could have. So the contents of what I'm going to talk to you about is, to begin with, I'm going to talk about what social media actually is, or well, the defining way of describing it. I'm going to show you some usage facts, both statistics and facts, and then I'm going to go into some of the negative effects and some of the positive effects. And then, of course, I'm also going to tell you a little bit about the references where I found the status about it. So, to begin with, social media refers to interaction among people in which they create, share, and or exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. And these are some of the few most common ones. When you have Pinterest, which is basically a site where you click on pictures as you like, you say that you like them, and you will see more pictures of the same kind. And then you have Google, which, well, it doesn't really need an explanation, but it's a huge search engine where you can find basically anything you want. And then you have Facebook, which is a social media platform where you can share pictures, you can share your thoughts, whatever you're thinking at the moment, and henceforth and henceback. And then you have Twitter, which is, well, it's kind of like Facebook in a way, but it's more like, it's actually more like of a political platform in these days, because a lot of politicians are using Twitter, and the same with celebrities. They're using it to like increase their fame, or maybe get more people to think in the same way that they do. And then you have Instagram, which is basically Facebook, but it's only pictures. So if you want to post something on Instagram, it has to be a picture, and you have to have some sort of captation to it if you want to get the likes. And then you have LinkedIn, which is one of the few social media platforms that I actually like, because it's a professional platform where you can write down how long you worked at a certain place, and like what your occupation is at the moment. So it's basically Facebook but for work. And I find it to be a lot more important than the use of Facebook, because of the fact that it's actually linked to jobs. Yeah, so these are just a few of them. There are, of course, a lot more. These are some statistics taken in 2013, in the beginning of 2013. And what you can see from this statistics, these pie charts, so to speak, is that the majority of people using social media are from 16 to 34. You have this blue column, which says that it's 27% that are 16 to 24, and then the red column is 25 to 34. And this goes for Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+. So basically in all these areas, the 5 top platforms globally, you can see a huge majority of the people using it are between 16 to 34. What this goes to show is that like this is something that has come during the generations of these people, and it's also something that they use in their everyday life. So here are some facts from studies regarding social medias. So just in 2015, about 165 million users experienced the internet on their smartphones, which is something that started coming out in 2008, and has found its way to most young people, and also the slightly older generation than my own. So, well, it's basically in the range of 16 to 34. So as I said earlier, the highest number of social media users are between that age. And what is kind of like scary is that 67% of teenagers are friends with strangers. It's basically the same as having imaginary friends because you don't know if these people are real or not, which I find very scary. And studies have also shown that cases of cyberbullying, fake profiles, are increasing upwards in a horrific horizontal scale since 2015 and has continued to go up in the same way since then. And the thoughts of youth are being manipulated with increase in use of social media. How this is that, well, politicians and celebrities in some way can kind of like cultivate their messages to appeal to the young people, whereas they will see those and be like, all right, so, well, that famous person says this, so this has to be true then. Donald Trump has gotten a lot of hate through Twitter and Facebook. While Donald Trump might not be the best person in the world, I would argue that it's not alright to just out him on social media for things that's, well, haven't really been proven to be true. They just assume something, but because it's on Twitter, it doesn't count as, oh, this is not a fact, this is just my feelings. So, just some of the negative effects that this studies have shown about social media are like teens who use Facebook are a lot more likely to have psychological disorders, including antisocial behavior, mania, and aggressive tendencies. Comparing themselves to others is also something people do. And like as humans, we compare ourselves to others in terms of look, travel destination, shopping sprees, and friends, etc., which Facebook is like the major platform of. And like studies have also shown that prolonged exposure to phones can actually show signs of radiation. While these might not be on a really high scale, it's still something to be considered. And one of the most common problems with the use of display is decreased capacity of your eyes. So another one of the physical problems. And it can be very distractive. May take away focus from school or work because of notices from different apps, etc. So you get spammed by Facebook telling you this is happening, this is happening. And this is also something that can lead to less physical activities. And all these things combined lead to depression in some way, because when you compare yourself to others, you tend to get depressed when you don't have the same things. So, of course, there are some positive effects. You can converse with anyone in the world. Data can easily be exchanged to one person or a large number of people. And it helps, of course, in avoiding boredom. You can make friends and meet new people all over the world. And also the likes that I mentioned earlier can give you a sense of accomplishment, because if a lot of people like your pictures, then you're doing something good. So that is about it. So some of these are my references that I've looked into for this presentation, and one of them is About Us, which is an article you can read on the link that is below. And then I've read Social Media Brand Community and Consumer Behavior, quantifying the relative impact of user and marketer-generated content. You can also find the link below. And I've also, the statistics that I showed earlier are from a study done in 2013 by Jeff Bulas. While this might be argued that it's old, it looks even worse today, I can promise you that. And last but not least, my own thoughts and ideas. I hope they've given you some insight to how I think about social media. And that is it. Thank you.